it was like blindly raging, and to just see the stuff they said about us that they knew completely was not true. I presented myself in a good light. Everybody that knows me personally hit me up and said, like, you presented yourself well. Just didn't like the way that they, like Carrington said, doubled down on how we were, these terrible black women. And everybody laugh about that on that podcast really did hurt me in a way because
Oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah, yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.
YouTube, what is good with y'all? I'm back again with another Pop the Balloon reaction video. Today we're reacting to the BM Talks to Them girls from episode 23. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this video. Let me know what else I should be reacting to. 98% of y'all is not subscribed, so if you fuck with the video, then tap in to subscribe. Make sure you like the video and check out my playlist to see my other balloon pop reaction videos. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Also, before we get into this video, I wanted to give y'all some context. Right now, the girl from Detroit, I can't remember her name, she's talking about how she felt about the guys from their episode, like talking shit about them on their version of BM Talks where they talk to the guys.
I'm sure, they lead overall good lives. I just didn't like the way that they, like Carrington said, doubled down on how we were, these terrible black women, and getting to know them and hearing the positive things that they were saying about us, and then to go out on the internet and completely flip the script. It was like absolutely mind-blowing. It was like blindly raging to see that they did us like that. Just learning to take things, with a grain of salt. You think you know somebody, even though if you've known them for a short period of time, like they're only going to show a certain amount of themselves until, for lack of better words, shit really hits the fan. And shit happened to hit the fan, and we were, like I said, it wasn't a good experience for it. So just that, and maybe choosing different word choice when describing things, I would say that. But other than that, it was a positive experience, and I think that I presented myself in a good light. Everybody that knows me personally hit me up and said, like, you presented yourself well, you presented Detroit well, we love you, we're proud of you, and all these other things. Like, it takes a really brave person to be able to do something like that, and you did it, and you looked good while doing it. So that made me feel good. The people that actually love me and care for me gave me positive feedback, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
I feel like she barely took accountability for anything. She basically said, "Oh, all these people that I know told me that I was right, so that means I'm right." Like, they like you, they know you. Of course, that they're gonna understand you and give you positive feedback, most likely. And then two, she just completely throwing the guys under the bus. After from what I heard, they are like, there's no ground for that argument. They don't. She think they got the moral high ground that they should have been protected, but they shouldn't be throwing them under the bus like that.
Okay. And Camila?
What I learned is you could go out and be yourself, as respectful as you want to be. People are always gonna find something to say, and it's okay. Also as well too, I learned you can't trust everybody. I mean, I always thought that, and I'm very closed off of making friends and all that. So even just bringing these girls as friends and the guys on the show as friends is a big thing for me, because I'm a very private person when it comes to just like having people involved in my personal life other than social media. I learned that you can't trust people. People smile in your face and act like they're cool with you. And so going to the podcast you guys did with the boys, I was pretty shocked. Because we've been in this group chat, I believe, for 2 weeks, maybe, I don't know, and we were thinking everything's cool, everything's okay. And to just see the stuff they said about us that they knew completely was not true about us. They know us from a different level of just the show that we filmed. So, I learned, I'm gonna just keeping how it was. Don't be letting people in my circle like that, besides the ladies that I did become friends with, because they haven't shown me signs that they switched up on me. And then bringing back the PTSD haircut part, honestly, seeing everybody laugh about that on that podcast really did hurt me in a way, because I'm a woman, and if I'm saying a man, his hair, because if you guys know what PTSD is, you can get it from a taste, a color, environment. Doesn't matter what it is. PTSD comes from anything, and it's not anybody's place to know what happened. Just know that that haircut did resemble a man that I dealt with,
And that's just what it was. So the fact that people took that and was laughing and joking, oh, I'm gonna go to the barber and get the PTSD haircut. First of all, I don't even know what this man did to me. And the fact that it was becoming a laughing stock did really make me feel some type of way. And I also want to tell other women too, don't ever be ashamed what your PTSD makes you feel. It could be, I don't know, color. Don't be scared, oh, I'm gonna look stupid or people are gonna laugh at me. If that's what your trauma is, that's what your trauma is going to be. And you know what it is. And I was more, I healed from that moment in my life, and I was brave enough to go on the show and say, hey, because I could have just made up anything. Oh, he's short, or oh, he's too buff, or whatever. But I healed from that moment. I'm able to say right then and there, this is what gives me trauma. And I do not want to wake up to a man every day to see that haircut, and it's just going to bring back memories of what happened to me. So
Well, she's like, oh, I healed from this trauma. Well, if you really healed from it, then just them making a joke about it, just him having the haircut wouldn't be able to like bring out this much like anger and like just hatred of these people. If you really had overcame, if you really didn't still harbor resentment towards that, it wouldn't bring out this type of reaction for you. And I feel like she just be making it out to seem like she's just such a bubbly and nice person, and it's woe is her, everybody be coming for her, and she don't do nothing wrong and people just be mad at her. And that's just not how it is. She wasn't that respectful of people, and she's very sensitive and hasn't recovered from the trauma. And just because you have trauma doesn't mean you get to like lash out on other people because you haven't really dealt with it.
that's where as well, I learned you can't really be too open sometimes, and things could be taken as a joke. And it's funny too, because when I did speak to Kendall, I did tell Kendall, like, yeah, that wasn't a joke, that was trauma. So to see him go on that podcast and laugh and joke, like, it's just, I don't know, I just learned so much. You can't trust, you can't open up too much, you can't people take things and throw it around. So I just learned sometimes I gotta keep my mouth shut about certain touchy things, and I can't just go and open up, I guess.
I'm
But yeah.
sorry you had that
Yeah, and
experience,
and to
Kamina.
touch on that, Kamina, we didn't know the severity of that whole situation because I think even when you said on the show, you kind of smiled a little bit. So I think that's what
Yeah,
caused
so this,
everyone to
yeah,
laugh
this
at
is
that.
the thing. This is what I was talking about. How you act on the show is how people are going to take it. Like when you said that, I think it seemed like you said it like in a jokey way, but obviously it was serious,
Serious,
right? I
yeah.
feel like so
Yeah,
when
it
you
was
spoke,
serious.
when you spoke to Kendall by himself, you let him know that it was a serious thing. But everyone else that saw her on the
Didn't
show,
know. Yeah.
they didn't know that. Do you get?
Yeah, and I
Do you,
have a thing too. When something's hard for me to talk about, I either laugh a lot or I smile. There's certain ways where I hide, but I can't explain it. Like, I'm just kind of like that. If I'm nervous, I'll start laughing a lot too in the show. I'm just a natural laughing person, but as well on the show, I was a little bit nervous. I was more giggly than usual, but it's just stuff like that. But like I said, I was able to speak about it, and I know millions of people are gonna see it. And it's just kind of like, I smile. Not that it was a joke, but it's just a thing that I do if like things,
but
like are
and
comfortable to talk about a little bit. But I was
that
still
that's
able
that's
to.
why it's so hard as well, when you come on the show, because the people that are watching, they don't know this.
They don't know you.
Exactly.
They're just knowing this right now as you're saying this. That's why I wanted all of you girls to come and speak, to explain yourselves as well, because now when they watch you, they might have a different perception of how you acted. So one thing as well that
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing that I've heard a lot from the girls is that like they just expect people to know them, like, and give them the benefit of the doubt and like respect them, when one, people on the internet do not care about you. They will say anything. They're very disrespectful sometimes, and that's just what it is. That's how people are in the real world, and sometimes they don't say it because they're afraid to, but on the internet they could just say whatever behind the computer screen and no one's gonna get them. And then two, it's like they barely know you. How the fuck would they know like whether or not you like have this serious trauma, or whether or not you laugh and that's like your way of overcoming it or dealing with it? Like, they don't know you.
I do want to kind of end off on is that it takes a lot for people to come on the show. People that watch this at home, they're watching on YouTube, but for you, so all of you ladies coming on the show is a big thing,
Very
and
brave.
I thank you a lot for being you and staying strong, because most people can't do this. I want to ask you ladies, would you ever do this again?
No, they just weren't. The guys weren't serious enough, so no, I wouldn't.
Anyone else could go next.
I would do it again. I would just come more prepared. That's all.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it again because goes back to people show you what they want you to see, but behind closed doors, it could be a whole different person. So I wouldn't.
I feel the same way. I feel like the experience was fun, and I was expecting to find a match, and I didn't. So no, I probably wouldn't do it again, but it was still a great experience for me, and I'm grateful that y'all brought me on.
Knowing what I know now, probably wouldn't do it. Just based off of how everything unfolded here in our case, internet and on the personal level with the young men that we were, on the show with, I wouldn't do it again.
I'll currently say I'm unsure. I will say that I would much rather not have to and meet my person. I am just ready to cook my man a Sunday dinner, Sunday football dinner, and make sure that his beard is nice and oiled. So, yeah. I'm just ready for my man. I don't care about all this other stuff.
Right, and that's the spirit, ladies. I really hope you all find love one day. I really do hope you.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of them focused on all this negative stuff. She was the only one that said like brought up what she really wanted and try to look at the situation positive. They were all, especially the girl that said it was the men's fault for not being serious when she didn't like any of the men. A lot of them said they didn't like any of the men, but it's the men's fault because they weren't serious. Like that makes no sense. It's just like, oh my goodness.
Ooh, find your person. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, be blessed. Take care.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you all next time.
Okay, that's it. So, yeah, let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let me know if you want me to keep reacting to more of them, because I could go react to like him talking to other girls, or I could react to them talking to the boys from episode 23. Just let me know down in the comments what you think I should react to. And yeah, this was interesting though. I liked reacting to it. It was cool to like hear them in this setting and see them all looking different. Like some of them too, they look better in this than they did like on the actual episode. So that's just interesting, whatever. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you made it to the end of the video, like the video, yeah, and check out the playlist to see my other balloon pop reaction videos. I'm gonna get up out of here. Hope y'all have a great day. Peace. See y'all later.
Oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.